Alright, first off, want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is brother Arawam from a Jamaica camp coming with another quick lesson. I was thinking about something. It's a thought that comes and goes from my mind, sometimes I think about what it truly means, you know, to be content, and I was realizing that, being content is really different to being complacent. Sometimes it's mixed up, sometimes it's not clear, you know, but I hope this lesson is edifying, and I really hope that it will help clear up the mindset or the misconceptions of being content, versus being complacent. So this is an article from scottmiker.com. I was just doing some research on Google, found this article very helpful, right? So it says content, not complacent, and I'm gonna jump around. Right now, this paragraph right here says, too often we see a successful individual and feel that they must never enjoy their life, right? But we all know that this place is about to crash and burn. The prophecies are are all over the place. We have C19. We have Maxine coming out. E making his moves. The C about to be implemented, because it is intertwined with C19, even though they claim that with Maxine you're going to get a card to show, but it all ties in with the Internet of Things and everything. So really, this lesson isn't about telling brothers to be complacent or to get comfortable in this, but while we're here, there's we have to maintain, right? So this is from a maintenance aspect, and just going through how you maintain in the spirit, while going about your quote unquote daily lives, right? It says right. So in this sense, being happy isn't Esau's version of making it in Babylon the Great, right? So it says they strive and feel they need more to be happy. They always push themselves to be greater, and that's the thing. Sometimes when brothers hear about the brothers were doing videos a couple months back, reinforcing the idea, that you should be working, you should be maintaining yourself, you should have a job, you should have an income, do businesses, or whatever, just to ensure that you're getting by, right? It doesn't mean that you're just there. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're down and out, but it's a level of striving, right, to a certain extent. Now let me jump around. Right, so let's discuss discontentment, right? So it says discontent. It says because of this, it's easy to feel unhappy and discontent in life, right? The outside world bombard us with the idea that we need more money, we need more success, we need more stuff. So when brothers are saying get a job, get a skill, do something to get your hustle on, so to speak, it isn't about brothers telling you to get more money, right? It's not like, hey, get 6 cars, get 3 house, get rich in so-called Babylon the Great. That is not it. It's just a simple fact of taking care of yourself. So you should see the things that you lack, you see the things that you have. It's a game of pros and cons, based on what do I need to get by in my daily life, what do I have, what are the next, what do I have, how stable I am in regards to my basic or my daily necessities, as the scripture says, give us this day our daily bread. What are my standards, or what is my stand in regards to my basic necessities, right? So it isn't about getting more per se, but to getting what you need, right? It says we have choices, but we frame ourselves as self-indulgent or misery. We can be happy or successful, but we can't be both at the same time. So brothers, brothers also sometimes, well, I let me not say brothers, let me speak for myself. I sometimes would think that, we're in Babylon, so it means that I definitely have to be, always broke, always just don't do anything, stay in the scriptures like 24/7, 365, not taking, not applying balance, that marathon that we're running, sometimes it's like, I would used to think about, doing that full sprint, and I burn out for a while, but I have to get up back and say, okay, change the strategy, right? Because that's also another thing, being content doesn't mean that you don't take a breath. Being content doesn't mean that, you don't, if you can, let's say you get yourself a bottle of wine, or you um you may go to a bar or a restaurant, or you know take a walk, you may go to the gym. It doesn't mean that you don't have or enjoy certain luxuries of life, right? Maybe not as Esau, not as much as Esau, but within your standard, based on your ability, there are some things that you can do, right? So, not because you're in the truth, it doesn't mean that it's suffering all the time. It's a majority about it, of it's about suffering, but it's suffering. The Lord give you a break. Suffering, the Lord give you a break. There are these in betweens, right? And once you're content, then it makes it easier, or it makes it balanced. It's easier to actually go through. It's a balancing act, right? So it goes down here to describe content versus complacent, right? So when you're discontent, it means that, if you're a brother that thinks that, hey, I need more money, or I need more this, or I need more that, or I need more this, you know that's you being discontent, right? However, if it's a case that you, as I'm going to go into, you appreciate what you have, and you want to improve, right? You can improve your standing or improve your situation, then that is you being content, and you're improving. Now, if it's a case that you're uncomfortable with your situation, despite the fact that we're going, we are under the curses, if you're uncomfortable with your situation and you're not doing anything to change it within balance, of course, you know, you're not working towards changing it, you're not making any moves, then you're being complacent, right? So it says, we can have both at this. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Content, right? So it says the key to being happy, well, whatever. The key to be happy is to realize that we have that you have what you need, and become content. The key to success is to be constantly improving and never becoming complacent, right? So, for one, you know, I have a roof over my head. I have food in my stomach. I have clothes on my back. I first and foremost, I have the ability and the resources, to do this truth, because that's also one of the main drivers behind it. But I was saying that, hey, get yourself in a position where it's easy, or easier for you to actually push this truth. You have, the light, you have to pay your light, you have to pay internet, you may need a laptop, you may need a phone, you may need you need clothes, you need anything that you can take care of, so that it makes it easier to focus on the ministry. Then that's what it was about. So it's improving yourself, so that it's easier for you to do to focus on the ministry, right? So the fact that I have a roof over my head, I can pay my bills, I can buy food, and I have clothes on my back, with those bare necessities, and I'm able to maintain those, or maintain having those, I can actually, I have the ability to do these lessons easier than, let's say, that someone that's not in my position, right? So, and I had to work, and I had to improve, I had to suffer to get to this point. However, it was, at no point in time I was saying that, look, I before I can do the videos, I need $1 million, or I need, I need to get a car in order, all these things. It wasn't a focus like that. It was the first target, was to get the bare necessities, the minimum, which is food, clothing, shelter, you know, and you will have help along the way. A lot of brothers helped me along the way, to get me on my feet. So being content is, get it on your feet and maintain being on your feet, right? So continuing on, where is it? Where am I? Right. So it says being content means that you don't need more to be happy, right? Because hey, I don't need, well, based on where you live, of course, but where I am right now, I would like to have a car, but I don't need a car, right? However, if it's a case that I'm in a position where I can get one, I will get one. You know, as I said, I have the basics. I need to go somewhere. I earn enough where if I need to pay a cab, or I need to travel, I can pay for that. A car would be more of a convenience. So I'm not bummed out, or angry or perplexed based on the fact that I don't have a car, right? Because that would be more of a convenience than an actual, need. I'm grateful. I'm at a level where everything is good, so to speak, right? Because we won't be good till we're in the kingdom, but I'm balanced to a certain extent, right? Now it says, right, being content means that you don't need more to be happy. Everything that you need at this moment you have. It is a drastic shift from what we are taught, right? Now going down now. So now that I'm content, I'm okay with what I have. I'm satisfied, with what I have, and I can, first and foremost, I'm in a position where it's easy for me to do this work. I need to avoid complacency, right? And this also applies to, teaching as well. We are content with the lot that Lord has given us. We don't, as the scriptures say, what was that? See not all the things that are too high for thee, right? We don't seek out, well, I don't seek out high knowledge. I'm glad with the lot which in regards to knowledge that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshai has given me, right? And based on the lot that is given to me, I bring it out, and I also seek to improve upon that, through labor and through studying. But while I labor and I labor and study things that I know, and then whatever the Spirit reveals or add to me, or whatever the Lord add to me, I'm grateful for that. But I don't try to go, as the brothers would say, super deep, about the stars and the moon, and the galaxies, and how was what the chariots are made of, and all these other things, right? I stay within my lot, right? Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, of course. So it also leads back to that level of contentment, but also I'm not complacent. The knowledge that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has given unto me, I don't think that this is all. Just like some camps or some men, they will say, all right, I'm an Israelite, and they're content with, not content, they're complacent with that knowledge, saying that, all right, I know I'm an Israelite, all right, then what? I know this breakdown. Then what? Some people, they you know all the breakdowns, right? But you don't do no videos. Then that means you're complacent. You're comfortable with just knowing, right? But that's not enough. The next step is to what? Teach, right? And you teach what you know, and as you teach, the next thing you do is you don't get complacent with how you teach. You improve and become a better teacher. You keep refining your teaching techniques. So it's you keep improving, but at the same time you are grateful and you're content. You're satisfied with what the Lord has given you or has given us, right? It says complacency is different from being content. Being complacent is similar to being lazy. Often we get upset with our current situation but refuse to work to improve. We are being complacent, right? Sometimes we don't know a particular breakdown, or we don't know something in particular, and we don't go ahead, we don't look it up, we don't study, we don't ask questions, right? We make no effort to fix or improve the situation. Or if it's a case that we ask one person, we just, and we don't get the answer, or we don't get it, how do I put it, if we're not spoon fed, then we just leave it as is, right? That's different. And there are times too when we have to we do research, we ask questions, and we're not fully clear, and we just have to pray the Lord, reveal it in his time, and keep it moving. Because there are times when there are things that we desire to know and we try to search it out, and we just don't get it. So we just have to be patient and wait on the Lord to reveal it. That's also an example of being content, right? And it's same thing, you'll be in a situation where it be you're unable to meet your basic necessities, or you're unable to do certain things, or you're unable to gain certain things, to ensure that you will be able to function in this truth as best as you can, and there's no moves towards it, right? That's you being complacent, right? Or that's us being complacent whenever we're in those situations, right? It says a complacent person will never works to reach their potential because they feel that it is pointless, right? And sometimes we try and because we don't get the desired results right away, or we don't get the desired results, we think it's pointless, and want to give up. I've been in that situation many times. I remember when I just got hired at my job, and the first task that they gave me was as a sales rep, and I wasn't good at it, and I tried and I tried and I tried, and after months of trying, I was like, look, I'm done. But I was actually, I work with a brother, and he would usually say, look, you can do it, just keep trying. And sure enough, after a while, I got better at it, and it was a constant up and down, up and down. But with help, I was able to improve over time, and till I'm actually in the situation that I'm in now. After a while, things got switched up, and I'm actually doing something that's more to my skills, more to my expertise, so to speak. But if I had given up at that time, then probably I'll be working somewhere else, and maybe not in as good as a position that I am now. Who to tell? But we not to make this video about me, but just to use myself as an example. I was being complacent at first. It was through the help of the brother, through spiritual power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai, the help of the brother, and among other people, that I was able to to not give up, and to get out of that complacent spirit, and just keep working on improving, right? And really, I was blaming external things as well, because when I actually was after a while, when I calmed down and I was examining it, there are certain things that I just wasn't practicing. There are certain things that I wasn't doing, certain techniques that I wasn't using. And as soon as I started to use the techniques, and just to go in full fledged, things got better. They weren't great, but they got better, right? So it says the complacent and content difference. The difference between contentment and complacency is a subtle one, right? It says being content means being happy. Well, I would say satisfied but not happy, right? Because we won't be happy until we leave this place. And being complacent means refusing to work to improve, right? So we need to ask ourselves, are we content, or are we complacent, right? Because sometimes we're being complacent, but we think that we're content. Maybe we say, hey, maybe this is just not for me, or maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Even though the scripture does say, all things is not for all men, and you should prove yourself, your soul, and see what's good for it, and see what's evil for it as well, and give that unto it. So there are some things that are definitely not for you or for us, but at the same time, you just want to pray that you're not being complacent, right? So if it's not for you, then leave it and try something else, right? Just a little more, and then I'll get into the precepts. Salakia, didn't expect this to be so long, right? It says right, it means that you're not happy with your situation. You also continue to work hard to improve, right? So it says it means that you're not happy with your situation. You're being content, right? You also continue to work hard to improve, not being complacent. So there are sometimes too, when you're not happy with where you are, right? But the difference with once again, sorry, it's let me rephrase that. There are the key difference is You know where you are, and you work to actually improve it. That's you being content, right? Improving your situation, not necessarily by getting rich, not necessarily mean by getting more, but even your mindset, your mindset, all these things. But I'll get the scriptures very shortly. Right? It means that you continue to work to get better, but you don't stop yourselves from being satisfied or being happy in the moment, meaning that you're grateful for what you currently have. Right? So contentment goes hand in hand with being grateful, right? With the gratitude, Salakia, being appreciative being appreciative of the things in your life. You see everything else as a miracle. The complacent individual don't see anything as a miracle and takes everything for granted. Yeah, because as I stated, I'm content. I have food, shelter, raiment, and such things. However, there are a few things, within my home that need to be improved. Some few things with myself that needs to be improved. There are things that I can improve on, and there are things, in my environment that I can improve, right? And I work towards it, but it's not about me being rich. It's about doing what I am maintaining until the Lord comes. I got a new appliance the other day, and I was like, yeah, feels good to get this new appliance. And then like within a second after my thought hit me that, hey, who to tell, maybe I'll have to run and get away from this place, leaving this behind very shortly based on the times that are at hand. So it's all there, right? So let me go ahead and get into the precepts. Sorry if the article actually took longer than I expected. Right, so see that this the last point I mentioned, let me go ahead and get this. This is 1 Corinthians 7 verse 29. It says, "But I say this, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, they that rejoice as though they rejoiced not, and they that buy as they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away." So yeah, we use this world and not abusing it. Yeah, you will have things. Yeah, you will have to maintain. But at the end of the day, just remember that trying to gain this, amassing a whole lot of wealth and money and clothes and car, like once you're going above maintaining yourself, or once you're thinking about excess and not necessarily improvement, then you're gonna be in trouble, right? Because once again, we're about to get out of this place anyway. So anything you gain on this side is not like you can take it next. But while you're here, you just maintain, right? Next precept is 1 Timothy 6 and verse 1 Timothy 1 verse 6. It says, Salakia, 1 Timothy 6 verse 6. "But godliness with contentment is great gain." Right? Meaning that it's it's sufficient. "We brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be there with content." Right? "But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." So it's not about amassing great amount of money, right? And it says that also it means that it also doesn't mean that you try to gain a whole lot, right? It's not about gaining, it's about improving, right? That's the thing about it. It's about gaining and not improving. Because the thing with the desires and is like, once you get one thing, you'd want the next. So there's no end to desire, there's no end to gaining. As Solomon said, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. However, you can improve, right? So it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, while some while some coveted after they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Right? And then let's just bring some balance to it to show that, so with First Corinthians 7, it showed that, look, everything that you get, you'd actually lose it. We should use this word as not abusing it. But First Timothy 1 and 6, it's telling us that we should be so satisfied with the base with the bare minimum, or with our basic necessities, right? So let me get the final precept, which is in the book of Sirach, and this is Sirach chapter 14 verse 11. It says, "My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself, and give the Lord his due offering." So you pay your tithes. If you can buy yourself a bottle of wine, and why not? If you can buy a car, or if you can buy maybe some new kicks or a new appliance or whatever it is, if it's in your ability and you can do it, then fine, right? It says, "Remember that death will be not long in coming, and that the covenant of the grave is not shewed unto thee." And you can compare death as in literal death, and also you can compare it to the time to come. We're in those final days. The minute or the hour we do not know, but we know that, look, it's right around the corner. Just like this precept is saying that, look, death can be around the corner any second, right? It says, "Defraud thyself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee." So if it's a good day, if it's one of those days where the Lord hand is lift off you a bit, the Lord just give you a little ease, then fine, right? So and if it's a thing where if the desire is good, once you're not going off, and you're within the perimeter of the scriptures, you're doing your lessons, you're going on the highways and byways, you're studying to show yourself approved, you're contributing to the body of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you help building the tabernacle, and you have a good desire and it's within your reach, why not? Right? That is also that's a part of improving. That's a part of you taking a break, so to speak, within balance, right? It says, shall not thou leave thy travails unto another, and thy labors be divided by lot? So aren't we about to be homeless? Are some of us about to be put in jail? And some of us are about to be be martyrs for the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? Yes, we know that. So all of that is to come. But now, within this time, while things are somewhat within order as it pertains to Babylon society, and you're living here, then maintain, you can be all right, so to speak. Right? It says, "Give and take and sanctify thy soul, for there is no seeking of dainties in the grave." Right? It says, the flesh waxeth old as a garment, for the covenant from the beginning is, thou shalt die the death. Right? So at the end of the day, all of this is going to come to now. We look for a new heavens and a new earth. But as the scripture says, use this word or this world as not abusing it. So if you are in a position where you can gain certain level of convenience, but you keep the main thing, you're putting what needs to be put towards the truth, and whatever you can do in your personal life, you're doing it, that's fine. So it doesn't mean that you sit around, you be lazy. It doesn't mean that you don't improve yourself. It doesn't mean that if you're in a bad situation, you don't try to get out of a jam. You just sit in there, oh, it's because of the curses, I'm doing because of the curses. No, that's not it. It's just keeping the main thing while you maintain and you pass through. Right? So with that, really hope this was edifying. Once more, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.